Do you guys think they should redo world bosses? I don't know what to do about a world boss, man. I think instanced world bosses are really lame. But I don't know what to do about world bosses in 2026 with this many people on the server. I think SOD world bosses were so lame. I remember the days of playing on Elysium, playing on like old like Blizz-like private servers from like 2017, 2018, like that whole era. And some of the best memories I've ever had. Like I remember playing on a global server. This is like, these are some other points that I have. This is my this will never happen scenario. I dream of a world where there is one classic WoW server, just one, and is global. Maybe one per rule set, like one PvE, one PvP, one RP or something, I don't know. But I dream of a world where there is one per rule set, 0 layers, and it is global, and you play with everybody on the whole world at the same time. Absolute cinema. It's impossible. It'll never happen, but amazing. It would be incredible. It'll never happen, but that is like the dream. Here's the thing, we had that whenever we played on Elysium, and there'd be like 10 to 15,000 people on the server online. And dude, the server was packed. You could log on in the middle of the night. You could log on in during the day. And I remember you had the freaking Devilsaur Mafia, and they had different shifts. So you had like one shift for Devilsaur Mafia, like at this time of day. And then the Americans would have to like work with the Swedes. And then you had like the Italians come in, and then you had, you know what I mean? Like it was just crazy, right? And then there was like a random German ringer that would come in and raid with the American guild, and like the German was the best player. Dude, that stuff was sick. It was freaking sick. And then there was like the Danish Devilsaur Mafia versus the Swedish Devilsaur Mafia, and they hated each other. And then the Norwegians that came in and they kept trying to snipe them, but then they would fight against them. Stuff like that was cool, like knowing the different people from different countries around the world. It was so fun, man. It's amazing, man. Swedish Devilsaur Mafia, dude, I love their music. Q for Battleground, the winning team gets to do the world boss, PvPvE. Oh, that would be kind of crazy. Idea for world boss, instead of getting tagged by a raid, it gets tagged by the faction. Every player of that faction. The area gets loot, so massive. Like everyone is eligible. I don't know how you would do that outside of a raid group. Maybe, but I think personal loot is so cringe. Like personal loot, that is not classic. In a world with personal loot, that would work. I don't think it works in a world without personal loot. I think personal loot is just, it's just not, like it's so antithetical to the concepts of a classic MMO. And I think that's where you have to start. It's like retail, yeah. I don't like currencies. Here's another thing. Dude, I don't really like, I know they start adding them in like Burning Crusade currencies, and I know they start adding like tokens in vanilla with like the tokens for the gear. I hate them. I hate tokens. I hate currencies. I hate stuff like that, man. I think tokens and currencies are so annoying. Like I like killing something and then it drops. And the reason why they add the tokens were so that multiple classes would be eligible for loot if like nobody of that class needed that loot. Then it's like, oh, like nobody needs tier 4 shoulders who's a druid, maybe a mage needs it, right? That's why they added it, so that less loot gets wasted. But man, it's just not cool. And I don't know how to fix that problem. The reason why they added currencies like badges of justice and stuff, it was like bad luck protection. It's not only is it bad luck protection from not getting the gear that you need, but like you do heroics and it incentivizes you to keep running heroics with other people who might need stuff from that dungeon. It's like a part of the cycle. Like it's a good idea, but like, I just don't like them. Like it just doesn't feel very classic to have these currencies, you know? What about raid sizes? I think they should add some 20-man raids, maybe like a couple 20-mans, maybe another UBRS type, which is 10-man. And I think that they should add like a 40-man or something. I don't know. Like I'm a big believer in 40-man, but 10, 20, 40 is the numbers. And 10 should be like UBRS. Like it's not a raid quote. Like people consider UBRS a dungeon, you know? Like it should be like that. Blizzard should include all the content existing today till retail. What I mean is that they have so much content already prepared, why not hide it from the users? With a really slow leveling without level cap when each talent gear is special. So I actually think they should, this is my opinion, I think they should speed up leveling a little bit. Like if it was like the Burning Crusade 1 to 60, I think that'd be okay. Because the Burning Crusade 1 to 60 is faster than the vanilla 1 to 60. That's fine. I don't think it should be like retail leveling at all. I think there's a big problem that doesn't get talked about enough. And that is level 30 to level 50 is a really bad leveling bracket. You kind of shotgun everywhere, and there's no nice, smooth, and that's part of classic WoW. Not everything needs to be a nice, smooth transition, but there needs to be options. It also depends on your faction. I think 40 to 50 is not great for Horde. And if I remember right, 30 to 40, like, dude, if I'm playing Alliance, 30 to 40, I'm just sitting in Scarlet Monastery. But a lot of Horde players I know, they really don't like 40 to 50. But then on the Alliance side, 40 to 50 is a little bit better, but it's still bad. It's the way the quests are lined up and the way you kind of like get shot all over the place. You go to STV at 30 and then you go back at like level 40 and then you do some stuff at low level 40s. Like it's just all over the place, right? Playing hardcore 30 to 40 is a complete shit show. I literally have to travel back and forth everywhere, half a level. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, we talked about all the open spots on the map. I don't think all the open spots on the map should be end game zones. Like what if Hyjal was a leveling area? No, Hyjal is like so epic. Maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. But then again, like we looked at like the Twilight Highlands, there's places like Grim Batol. I mean, there's open areas of the map. I think they should have some more leveling zones. Okay, I am not somebody who's a leveling enjoyer. I've always been like, I play one character and I play end game and I raid and I do dungeons and I PvP and I guild lead. That is what I do. That's what I enjoy. I don't like leveling a bunch of characters. However, I understand that there's a lot of people that they like leveling alts and that's the way they like playing the game. Just because something is not the way that I like to play the game doesn't necessarily mean that it's not something that should be there. And I think that anytime you're talking about game design, planning something out, I think you have to look at everything with a bird's eye view. It's not just so much like me. So even though I don't play that way, I know that there's a lot of people that like leveling alts, that they like leveling a bunch of different characters. And I think that having like a good emphasis on the leveling process from 1 to 60, even though I don't consider that to be like the game, for some people that's the game. Doing some things to like promote that, you know, take things that are already there and promote that. I think that's good. If you take some of these areas, you make new zones that are leveling zones, you help fill in the gaps from 30 to 40, you help fill in the gaps from 40 to 50. I think that'd be really nice. Hell, you could even throw some stuff in for the low levels, throw in some like level 20 area zones, so maybe some teens, right? Maybe you add another dungeon, like Deadmines level range, like level 20 range, you know? I think there's a lot that you can do with this game. There's a lot. I think that it's important to kind of approach everything with kind of like an open mind, but also have like a specific set of rules that you adhere to. And one of the most important is just keep it classic. Continue developing the game as if it's the year 2006, 2007, and you just keep it rolling. Doing an RFK level dungeon for ally would be nice. Oh yeah, RFK, yeah. I was thinking Ragefire, but yeah, Razorfen. Actually, Ragefire too, who knows? You know, because they have Deadmines and Wailing Caverns, and then you have Ragefire, maybe they could do something in like, actually, you know what? Maybe you'd put something up in Aberdeen, Night Elf side. The other thing that I would like to talk about that I think is really important, the last thing I want to talk about is class design, and I want to kind of point this towards a series of videos that I'm going to work on. It's going to be like going over talent trees and some stuff like that and some stuff that I would like to see. That's coming soon. Okay, I'll start doing that on stream soon, TM. But I think class design is also really important to look at. And I've said this a few times and people, they argue against me, but they argue against me with things that are irrelevant to the conversation, or they're just like, no. And I think it's because you're not hearing what I'm saying whenever I'm saying it. The design of Classic Plus should start with the Burning Crusade pre-patch. What does that mean? That means looking at like the 41 point talent trees, seeing the different like class mechanics and stuff that change come Burning Crusade, but in the pre-patch, you're only level 60. And this is something that I kind of realized while we were doing this last Burning Crusade pre-patch. I'm like, damn, there's some things here that are only exclusive to the pre-patch that are gonna go away by the end of Burning Crusade. And I try to make it happen. Like I was trying to make seal twisting with Seal of Righteousness the thing. It doesn't really work because you don't have spell power anymore on your ret gear. But like, let's say they were to do Seal of Command, Seal of Righteousness twisting in a Classic Plus. Well, yeah, we still have spell power on our gear. So maybe it actually is like really good. It might be really cool. So that's what I mean about the starting point. Now it's just a starting point. So that means I think some things should be tweaked up, some things should be tweaked down. I don't know. I think if you get to the point where you start taking Wrath of the Lich King and mash it into vanilla WoW. Burning Crusade, you can mash it a little. You don't have to mash, you can press. But Wrath of the Lich King, you gotta mash because it's so many more talent points. If you start trying to mash that down into level 60, I think it's not only gonna be too much and like kind of out of scope for what like a classic WoW would be, what a continuation of design in the year 2007, like in a classic MMO would really be. But I think that the scaling will be off. I think that you're gonna just do too much damage. It's gonna be too much throughput. The difference between a Classic Plus, and this is a key component that I think everybody needs to think about, and it's not something that really has occurred to me in the last like few months. Nothing is permanent. if you're to do Classic Plus, it's not like Burning Crusade where they release it and are like, yeah, well, this is how it was, and we're gonna kind of maybe tweak this or tweak that. Look, if something is overpowered, nerf it. If something is bad, buff it. But I think it's important to kind of start low and tweak up. If that makes sense. They can change talents, they can buff things, they can nerf things. That's something that I think is really important to look at, but you just want to have like a good starting point from a design standpoint, and then you can tweak numbers and you can work from there to move on. They're so hesitant to tweak things. It's actually really annoying that they're so hesitant to tweak things in Classic Anniversary or something like that. Now they'll do it, or like they'll go back to the drawing board and they'll fix stuff. Like for example, there was no Resto Shaman PvP gear at the beginning of season 1 in this last Burning Crusade. I hit up Blizzard and I was like, hey, you guys know there's no PvP gear here for shamans, for Resto Shamans. They're like, what? So they look at it and they're like, oh, that's weird. And I guess like there was no, it wasn't like put in until season 2 before. But like the items existed, they were in the game files. I mean, you could even look them up on Wowhead, but like last time around, they didn't put them in at the beginning for some reason. And they talked about it internally and they were like, yeah, this is stupid. This makes no sense. And then they decided to put them on, right? But they hadn't, like, that was something that they were just like kind of doing the thing again. And they were like, wait a second, nobody mentioned this last time. But that's cool, right? So they're willing to move on some things in Classic Anniversary. Like they're not going to go and like buff and nerf things dynamically to account for the times. Whereas on a Classic Plus, hey, maybe they could do that. Maybe they should do that. Or I'm completely wrong and I'm a freaking idiot, right? For all I know, they're not even gonna change the talent trees or anything like that. I just think they should. And I think that if they approach it with that sort of Burning Crusade pre-patch as a starting point and then move up here and there, I think it'll be really good. I'll start doing that on stream a little bit and we'll make it into a series of videos talking about the different class talent trees and stuff like that. And maybe we could even bring other people on and talk to them and stuff. Cause I know guys for there's a lot of really, really good experts on classes out there that would be fun to talk to about this kind of stuff. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love Classic WoW. I love talking about Classic WoW. I do all kinds of different things on my stream. I do a lot of IRL. You can even go through my YouTube channel and see, like, I probably do the craziest, most wide variety of content in all of live streaming. Legitimately, it's stupid. I don't know why I do this, but I do and I love it. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video and I hope you guys enjoyed talking about stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think.